On the 30th of August 1913, Kumaravel Karupaiah and S.Thondaman gave birth to a baby boy in a small village named Moonapudur in Tamil Nadu. Karupaiah belonged to the Thondaman clan and he lived in the Ramanathapuram district in India. Thus he named his son Soumyamurthy Thondaman. In 1924, 11-year-old Soumyamurthy Thondaman followed his father to Ceylon. At that time, Thondaman's father Karupaiah, who was initially an estate field Kangani, rose to become an estate owner in the Nuvareliya district, where he became the first Indian origin Tamil to own a tea estate in Ceylon. Even though Soumyamurthy Thondaman was given a comfortable and cozy life by his parents, his heart was with the working class people of the estates from a very young age. He was gravely concerned about their sufferings and their future. The Ceylon Indian Congress's first convention, held in the city of Gampala, later became the turning point in Soumyamurthy Thondaman's political journey. Even though he was only asked to financially support and facilitate this gathering, he made sure that this was an island-wide success. Thus, Soumyamurthy Thondaman was elected leader in its second convention held in 1945. Making a resounding victory for the CIC in the general election held in 1947, 8 members under the leadership of Honorable Soumyamurthy Thondaman entered the Ceylon Parliament. Considering the momentum gained by this victory a threat to power, the then government of Ceylon declared a Citizenship Act in 1949, which made the majority of Indian origin Tamils stateless. This automatically meant that they had no place in politics either. In 1950, Soumyamurthy Thondaman was instrumental in renaming the Ceylon Indian Congress to Ceylon Workers' Congress or CWC, further highlighting its vision towards the well-being of the estate workers in Ceylon. CWC was a labor union and Soumyamurthy Thondaman was its leader. After a peaceful yet persuasive political struggle for nearly 10 years, Soumyamurthy Thondaman was offered a single seat under the Sirimavo regime in 1960. This success, however, was threatened again when the Sirima Shastri Pact was signed between India and Sri Lanka in 1964. This pact forced scores of Tamils of Indian origin to involuntarily go back to India, while some remained hopeless in the country. Soumyamurthy Thondaman strongly protested and voiced his disapproval towards this act and the land reforms of 1972, which systematically uprooted his people from the country. In the latter part of the 1970s, Soumyamurthy Thondaman joined hands with TULF to form a Greater Tamil Alliance but disassociated himself from the concept of a separate state. This incident portrayed Soumyamurthy Thondaman's clear vision in his political journey. In 1974, opposition leader J.R. Jayawardena was highly impressed with Mr. Soumyamurthy Thondaman's courage and commitment as he somehow evaded roadblocks and violence on the streets against the UNP to join him at a satyagraha against the government in power. Perhaps marking the second important turning point in the political journey of Honorable Soumyamurthy Thondaman, in 1977, UNP joined hands with the CWC and defeated the SLFP government. Soumyamurthy Thondaman was offered a ministerial post for the first time in his career. Honorable Soumyamurthy Thondaman was never afraid to stand up for what was right and just. He said to his people that he will not be a yes man to the government, and he proved this during the communal violence that broke out in the country in 1983. Soumyamurthy Thondaman was highly critical of President J.R. Jayawardena and the government, even though he was still a minister in the same government. Similarly, when tensions were soaring between India and Sri Lanka during the period 1989 to 1992 due to India's involvement in Sri Lanka's conflict, Soumyamurthy Thondaman played a vital diplomatic role in stabilizing the fragile relationship. In 1994, President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga made history by setting up a separate ministry for estate infrastructure and development and appointing Soumyamurthy Thondaman as its minister. Many schools, houses and hospitals were built under this ministry in the following years. October 30th, 1999 marked the end of an era of a true leader who stood by his people. Soumyamurthy Thondaman, at the time of his death, was both the oldest and the senior-most member of the Sri Lankan cabinet, where he had served continuously for 21 years from 1978, under 4 Sri Lankan presidents, as the leader of the political party, the Ceylon Workers' Congress.